Hello, Rob Brockway here. We're going to do a little tape on the construction part of the capacitors. I didn't do a very good job the other day. This is June 16th, 2011, and I thought I'd go into a little more detail on how these things are made. First, you start out with a wide mouth jar. This happens to be a leftover peanut butter jar, and you clean it up. I get the label off by soaking it in hot soapy water, but even after you clean up the paper off, there's a glue left over, and I found the best way to remove the glue is with WD-40. You just spread a little bit on and let it soak a few minutes, take a paper towel, and it will rub right off. And then you wash it down again, clean it all up, and you're ready to build a capacitor. I also make my electroscopes are made out of the same type of jar, wide mouth, as you may have noticed in the video. Anyways, the nice thing about if you can get and use a wide mouth is that you can get your hand in it so you can work inside, because there is a bolt that needs to be fastened at the bottom, and you have to seal that, or dielectrically seal that bolt so it will not arc over to the inner plate. And here you have the finished assembly. And how I've done it is I just took aluminum foil, and I actually just tried to cover the cylinder part of the jar. I did drop it down. You may be able to see where it just rolled down in there. It kind of stiffens it up, and I just used Scotch tape to hold everything in place. Worked it in there the best you can. It doesn't have to be super smooth or anything. And to get the charge to the center terminal on the cap, I took, this is about 14 gauge aluminum strip, and all I did was use Scotch tape and electrical tape, and I taped it to the, it extends down and touches the inner plate, and then I brought it up long enough so it extends above the top edge, bent it over, but left it raised a little bit so there's, when you put the cap on, there's some pressure on it, so you make good contact. Now that takes care of the inner plate. The outer plate, I just wrapped it all the way around and drew it clear to the bottom. Now there's a center bolt in here, like I talked about earlier, that is, after I put the bolt in, I used clear silicone and a little plastic cap that I found. And I siliconed it in so it would be dielectrically separated, so it wouldn't arc over to the inner plate, and it works. And then you bolt it to the base, and there you have it. And the electrical, I brought the aluminum comes up into the neck part of the jar, and then after you form it in there best you can, I took electrical tape and went around it to further isolate it, to make sure that it could not, any chances of it arcing over to the inner plate. And it prevents any, minimizes any leakage too into the atmosphere. Any sharp edges will have a tendency to collect more concentration of charges, and charges get high enough they start ionizing the air, and it causes a bleed out. Oh, here we go, the cap. I wanted to show you the top part. Come on, cap. See, it's just an aluminum disc. This is just a 14 gauge. It's actually roof flashing. It's very inexpensive. You can get it in different gauges. It's soft. You can use a pair of scissors to cut it. It's not difficult. And I happen to have some aluminum bolts, 1/4 20 aluminum bolts. I filed these down and rounded them off like little buttons because I didn't need the slot, and I wanted to keep it smooth as possible there again to avoid any ionization at the sharp edges, which high voltage likes to do. And this is the particular pickup, and I made it so I can change the style pickups because this top part just unbolts and you slip it right off, and you can use different pickups or however you want to wire it into whatever you're working on. And as you can see, I brought this over. It extends in from the edge about 3/4 to an inch, and it makes sure that it just touches that pad, and as you can see, there's a little bit of a bounce there, which means you're getting contact with the tab. And as you keep threading it down, you got it. Now, adjust that. All right, now on the bottom, I have 2 aluminum strips brought over, and this is just 2 terminals, and this is my bridge, my removable bridge, so I can run them either individually or together and make these neutral, as you saw in the video. All right then, that should do it. It should give you a pretty good idea. At least that is how I build it, and it works. It's simple as I could dream up, and it functions quite well. So I hope if you're going to build one of these things, I hope it gives you some ideas on how to do it. Talk to you later.